headlines of this hour on VTV News. Party General Secretary meets with Thap Provincial Party Committee. Vietnam and Cambodia strengthen border protection cooperation. In a world news, fine particle pollution blamed for nearly 240,000 EU deaths in 2022.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It's now 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Phie with the top stories. Party General Secretary Theo met with the Provincial Party Committee of Thap on Wednesday morning. After commending the achievements of the party committee, government and people of Thap, the Party General Secretary called on the province to strengthen party development initiatives, prepare and organize party congresses at all levels, and enhance investment in high-tech and sustainable agriculture. He emphasized the importance of attracting investment in processing industries, advancing the digital economy, and encouraging innovation. With 2025 designated as a year for acceleration and breakthrough, Party Chief Theo urged the implementation of decisive measures to achieve socio-economic development goals, ensuring prosperity and well-being for all. State President Leung Keung on Wednesday morning praised the Ministry of Public Security for its achievements since the beginning of its term. These include its proactive approach to ensuring national security, reducing crime, and handling complex security issues. The ministry has taken the lead in digital transformation and implemented Resolution 18, building a clean, strong, and modern force with an efficient organizational structure. State President Leung Keung directed the police to prioritize security for upcoming major national events and party congresses. He stressed the importance of maintaining strategic support to protect national security, enhance social order, and ensure preparedness for all situations. At the National Conference on Human Rights Education on December the 11th, Prime Minister Phie affirmed that promoting human rights is a consistent policy of the party and state. The Prime Minister emphasized that human rights education must be officially integrated into the education system with the principle: students are the center, teachers are the driving force, and schools are the foundation. The Prime Minister also outlined 4 key aspects of human rights: living joyfully, healthily, safely, and in harmony with the environment, enjoying freedom with the framework of the law, maximizing individual benefits while contributing to society, achieving a steadily improving quality of life with greater prosperity and happiness, and ensuring equality, leaving no one behind. Prime Minister Phie has issued an urgent directive to streamline administrative procedures, aiming to reduce hassle and compliance costs for citizens and businesses, starting from the legal drafting stage. The Prime Minister has directed ministries, localities to carefully evaluate the impact of policies and administrative procedures in legal drafts. He ordered an immediate review to eliminate procedures that hinder production, business activities, and citizens' affairs. He also called for multiple laws to be amended through a single document to simplify administrative procedures, business regulations, and population management paperwork. Now, on Wednesday morning, the National Assembly Standing Committee held a meeting to review and discuss the addition of 4 new bills to the 2025 legislative program. The committee agreed to include the following bills: the Personal Data Protection Law, the Revised Press Law, the Revised Bankruptcy Law, and the Revised Law on Promulgation of Legal Documents. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn stressed that the process of amending or introducing new laws should serve the public interest rather than special interests. Streamlining the political system's apparatus, as outlined in Resolution number 18 of the Party Central Committee, requires determination and decisive action. The Ministry of Public Security's experience highlights the crucial role of exemplary officials and party members.
After joining the police in 1994, Phie became head of the Division of Administrative Management of Social Order in Hà Province. Following last year's restructuring, he was reassigned as deputy head in another unit.
Although I was concerned, we prioritized the political task, emphasizing individual responsibility and party members leading by example for the sector's and country's development.
Phie is among thousands of officers willing to take lower positions to support the industry's streamlining efforts. Many, including unit heads, have even volunteered for early retirement to aid in restructuring.
Streamlining the apparatus isn't just about reducing staff, it's about creating a lean, strong, and capable force. As I approach retirement age, I want to avoid burdening my superiors or unit, so I proactively submitted a retirement request.
Party members and officers, especially leaders, have set an example of sacrifice, fostering a collective commitment to streamlining. The Ministry of Public Security dissolved 6 general departments in 5 years and cut 55 department-level units and nearly 300 divisions. Local police merged 20 units, reducing over 500 department-level units and 1,000 team-level focal points.
The reorganization focused on capacity and roles, creating an efficient apparatus with notable achievements. For example, without increasing payroll, the police deployed officers to the commune level and completed the national population database in just 1 year, something that could take decades in other countries.
Streamlining the apparatus is challenging, but experience shows success follows when officers, party members, and especially leaders lead by example.
Now, with just 2 months until the Lunar New Year, farmers are increasing production to meet market demand. Several localities are transforming local plants into high-value products. This approach has helped many households in Bắc Cạn province increase their income, escape poverty, and even achieve prosperity.
5 years since switching to tobacco plant cultivation, Thu's family financial standing has improved significantly. The products he produces are now bringing him roughly $1,200 each year.
Tobacco plants can be grown off-season, so they bring us more profits.
Famous for its delicious sticky rice, Ngân Sơn, Bắc Cạn increased their income by 30% compared to selling rice through green rice flake production. Now Ngân Sơn green rice flakes are sold throughout the region and even in big cities.
I'm very happy that my village green rice flakes are certified as a 3-star eco product.
It is necessary to provide scientific and technical guidance to people so that they can apply it to their production models. Households also need to link together to produce chains, thereby increasing their income.
Statistics show that people's income has increased 3.4 times after learning to utilize local plants effectively. With proper investment and guidance, developing local plant specialities can provide a crucial foundation for rural economic growth, poverty reduction, improved living standards.
With its unique architecture, the 3 underground stations of Metro Line 1, Bến Thành to Suối Tiên, have completed construction and are ready for commercial operation, scheduled to serve the public on December the 22nd. Ticket prices for the Bến Thành Suối Tiên Metro range from 28 to 80 cents, varying by distance traveled. Monthly passes cost $12 per passenger, with students receiving a 50% discount. The elderly and people with disabilities will be able to travel for free. Now, before we move on to other important updates, let's have a look at the foreign exchange rate of today, December the 11th. Coming up next on VTV News, Vietnam and Cambodia strengthen border protection cooperation. And community-based digital technology groups drive digital transformation. Now, since April last year, Vietnam and Cambodia's border forces have conducted nearly 100 joint patrols. The countries have maintained regular delegation exchanges at various levels, with over 440 delegations and more than 2,000 personnel participating. Furthermore, both nations have successfully collaborated on human resource development and language training programs. These initiatives have helped strengthen solidarity, enhance bilateral relations, and build mutual trust between their forces. Personal items belonging to Vietnamese soldiers, such as diaries, notebooks, letters, and party membership applications, have been returned to their rightful owners or families of fallen soldiers after nearly 6 decades. Working together in Hanoi and Nghệ An, the National Steering Committee 515 and U.S. representatives facilitate the return of these mementos through 3 veterans and the families of 7 fallen soldiers. Initially discovered by U.S. veterans during the Vietnam War, these items were carefully preserved at Harvard University's ASH Center. These returned items hold particular significance as they primarily belong to soldiers whose remains are still missing. Birth rates in Vietnam have fallen to their lowest levels in history. Now, last year, the estimated fertility rate was 1.96 children per woman. According to the Ministry of Health, this rate is projected to decline further in the coming years. Additionally, while the sex ratio at birth in Vietnam remains under control, it continues to be elevated with no signs of decreasing. Last year, the ratio stood at 112 boys for every 100 girls. Human development has always been a central focus in Vietnam's development strategy, implemented comprehensively across all socio-economic fields, thus laying a solid foundation for protecting human rights. Now, in 2024, amid global turbulence, Vietnam continues to make steady progress in ensuring human rights with notable achievements.
The poverty rate has decreased from 58% in the early 1990s to just 1.9% in 2024.
Vietnam's participation in the Global Alliance Against Poverty at the G20 summit underscores the country's determination to tackle new challenges in global poverty eradication. The nationwide campaign to eradicate temporary and dilapidated housing by 2025 is another example of Vietnam's consistent policy of leaving no one behind. According to the UNDP resident representative in Vietnam, Vietnam is a leader in ASEAN adopting multidimensional poverty measures, which include factors such as access to healthcare, education, sanitation, and clean water. Vietnam is also one of 25 countries that have reduced their multidimensional poverty index by 50%, according to a recent report published by the UNDP and the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative. In 2024, facing the severe consequences of climate change, particularly droughts and floods, Vietnam responded quickly and effectively to protect human rights in emergencies.
The government leadership and the authorities for placing a lot of emphasis on disaster risk reduction and climate change mitigation measures in this country. We have seen, for example, when Typhoon Yagi was coming, there have been very strong forecasting mechanisms in place to prevent and raise awareness of communities to protect them from disasters.
In 2024, Vietnam is ranked high in the Human Development Index, having increased by nearly 50% from 1990 to 2022. In 2024, Vietnam implemented 271 out of 320 recommendations in the United Nations Universal Periodic Review Report, the highest rate ever. As a United Nations Human Rights Council member for the 2023 to 2025 term, Vietnam has led many important initiatives to ensure human rights.
It's important to have an emerging powerhouse in Southeast Asia like Vietnam represented in the Council. But also for us, having Vietnam as a Human Rights Council member gives further strength to that cooperation that I was talking about to really implement Vietnam's human rights commitments in the country.
The year 2024 marks significant achievements in protecting and promoting human rights in Vietnam. These accomplishments reaffirm Vietnam's strong commitment to safeguarding human rights while also enhancing the country's reputation as a responsible nation actively contributing to global development issues.
Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province aims to complete its digital transformation and establish a smart city model by 2030. To support this initiative, community-based digital technology groups across the region are actively helping residents in both rural areas and urban neighborhoods embrace digital platforms.
Like many residents juggling work and daily responsibilities, Phúc Thanh was interested in the convenience of the VNEID digital identity app, but found it challenging to navigate. Fortunately, he received personalized guidance from volunteers who visited his home.
I'm really happy that the digital technology group were very thorough, quick, and offered one-on-one support.
The volunteers assisting Phúc Thanh are members of the community-based digital technology group in Quarter 3, Ward 7, Vũng Tàu City. The group's primary mission is to help residents in the area access digital services more easily.
We usually hold activities on weekends to spread awareness and encourage local residents. Our community has completed about 80% of the digital transformation, and everyone is cooperating.
100% of neighborhoods, villages, and communes have established community-based digital technology groups. These groups reach out to every home and support residents in promoting the province's digital transformation.
Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu currently operates 503 community-based digital technology groups with nearly 3,000 members. These groups serve as vital links to the community, helping residents effectively utilize digital platforms and technology.
Now, statistics shows that each household in Vietnam consumes about 1 kilogram of plastic bags monthly, primarily from daily shopping. More than 80% of these bags are discarded after a single use, causing serious environmental damage. In response, many villages in Phú Yên have united to promote a simple yet effective solution, bringing baskets to the market to reduce the number of plastic bags taken home.
In this village, every morning, many women bring plastic baskets like this to the market. Instead of using plastic bags, they now place all their purchases in these baskets. This practice benefits both sellers and buyers.
Using this basket helps reduce pollution and prevents plastic bags from harming the environment.
Small traders in the market now sort their recyclable waste and collect it through this initiative. The greenhouse program has helped women in need earn additional income. This approach has significantly reduced plastic bag usage.
The Women's Union will raise awareness and expand this initiative throughout the community.
Markets clearly demonstrate daily plastic bag consumption, as vendors typically provide one for each item sold. When shoppers use their own baskets instead of plastic bags, this significantly reduces plastic waste. With the goal of reducing plastic pollution in rural areas, the Phie Women's Union continues encouraging local women to bring baskets when shopping at markets.
Without a strong legal framework for heritage conservation funds, efforts to attract organizational and individual contributions have been limited in both scales and effectiveness. The establishment of the Cultural Heritage Conservation Fund aims to overcome these obstacles. More to follow.
The Vietnam Cultural Heritage Conservation Support Fund, a member of the Vietnam Cultural Heritage Association, is a non-public fund created by a professional social organization. It operates independently of government funding, with all activities supported through social contributions.
We have no office, staff, or budget, so we have to experiment and find ways to move forward.
Over the past 5 years, the fund has raised more than $400,000 USD through social contributions to support cultural heritage conservation activities. While this sum represents only a fraction of what the heritage sector needs, experts note that the fund's operations have successfully increased awareness of heritage conservation.
The Vietnam Cultural Heritage Conservation Support Fund has sent a clear message. We need heritage conservation funds. This message has become a reality with the revised heritage law, which now allows for the establishment of the National Cultural Heritage Conservation Fund.
When the government establishes a sufficiently strong national fund, it will play a central role, while our social organizations fund will continue to support the national fund in preserving and promoting the value of our heritage.
The establishment of a National Cultural Heritage Conservation Fund, along with local-level funds, is expected to resolve the challenges that non-public social funds have been unable to address on their own.
Coming up next in our world news, fine particle pollution blamed for nearly 240,000 EU deaths in 2022. And Syria's transitional government holds power transfer talks with ousted officials. Welcome back to VTV News. Fine particle air pollution caused nearly 240,000 deaths in the European Union in 2022, according to a report published on Tuesday by the European Environment Agency. The number of deaths was highest in Italy, Poland, and Germany. The report said there were 70,000 deaths attributable to exposure to ozone pollution, particularly from road traffic and industrial activity. There were 48,000 premature deaths blamed on nitrogen dioxide, mainly from vehicles and thermal power plants. The agency emphasized that the air pollution continues to be the most significant environmental health threat facing Europeans. Syrian ministers from the newly formed transitional government met with members of the ousted Bashar al-Assad administration on Tuesday to coordinate the transfer of state institutions and ensure the continuity of public services. Mohammed al-Bashir, the prime minister leading the transitional government, announced that his cabinet has been tasked by the general leadership to manage Syria's affairs until March 2025. During this period, the transitional government aims to assume control of ministry, reinstate employees to their positions, and restore essential services throughout the country. He emphasized that his cabinet's primary responsibility is to maintain security, protect the integrity of institutions, and prevent a state of fragmentation. The Prime Minister stressed the importance of cooperation from outgoing ministers, particularly regarding the handovers of flights and responsibilities. South Korea's former defense minister was formally arrested on Wednesday over allegations of colluding with President Yoon Suk-yeol and others in imposing martial law last week. Former Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun, initially detained Sunday, now faces charges including engaging in critical duties during an insurrection and abuse of authority to obstruct the exercise of rights. According to a Seoul Central District Court spokesperson, Kim's formal arrest was prompted by concerns over potential evidence destruction. 2 senior police officials were also taken into custody early Wednesday as investigators deepened their probe into the political crisis sparked by the martial law declaration. The mythical Krampus and other frightening creatures took to the streets of Munich, Germany, much to the delight and fright of onlookers. Nowadays in Munich, this frightening sight is as much a part of Christmas. More to follow.
Locals and tourists turned out to watch as the horned, sheepskin-clad Krampus frightened adults and children alike.
Oh, I think it's amazing. We absolutely love Germany and we're really excited to see this. First time, so yeah, really excited.
Actually, I think it's a little scary, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's all right. First time here, so didn't know what to expect.
Rooted in alpine folklore, Krampus is the companion of St. Nicholas, who punishes badly behaved children while giving presents to the good ones.
The Krampuses are St. Nicholas's companions, and they accompany St. Nicholas until December 5th. We here are now in Munich. We want the protection to work. We also have our Perchten with us. There are Perchten and Krampus are in our group. The difference between Krampus and Perchten is that the Krampus has 2 horns, and the Perchten usually has several horns.
In Munich, the Krampus parade through the city center began in 2004, but the tradition itself dates back more than 500 years in the Alpine region.
And up next is the weather forecast. And that's the end of VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play or visit our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.